Welcome to another episode of I Am Tired of Church. Remember when you first had your child? That child had not even looked at you, can't even see you yet. And when you saw that baby for the first time, you probably even loved that baby before it came out of the womb. It was still stuck to the umbilical cord, and you probably would have died for that child. That's the instinct as a mom, instinct as a dad. More so a mom, because she has a special bondage with that baby, because that baby was inside of the woman. That baby was loved before the baby even said mama or papa. And yet us, as believers, sometimes we say, no, God doesn't love you because you're not XYZ. How come we don't say that to ourselves? Well, I don't love that baby yet. The baby don't even know who I am. The baby has to sing to me, adore me, praise me, and then I love him. But let's say the child now is 3 years old. And little Billy, at 3 years old, knows right from wrong to an extent. And the baby keeps getting near the stove. And you keep telling them, no. You talk, you do the best you can, you get down to their level, you speak to them at their level, and you let them know, don't do that, it's hot. And you try to say hot real slowly, you know how we do. After a few days, you get frustrated. That's it, I'm losing my patience. You set that fire on high, you take that baby's hand, and you place that baby's hand right over the fire. That 3-year-old, little Billy. Little Billy, of course, starts screaming within 2 seconds because the pain shoots up, boom! You, of course, you hold it there. Why? Why you hold it there? Because we're just. I mean, we love the baby, right? But we're also just. And we need the baby to learn the lesson. So we love the child, but don't forget, we are also just. So we hold the hand there for about 30 seconds. The baby's screaming, and you can probably hear it sizzling, but you don't care, because you need to teach this child a lesson. And the baby's screaming in agony, and you're like, it's for your own good. It's so you can learn. And the baby's hand is sizzling and writhing, and you see it melting, and you don't care because you're just. This is the baby's due punishment for disobeying you. After 30 seconds, you so lovingly let your child go, and you say to the child, I'm just. I did this because I love you. That sounds ludicrous. If you see anybody doing that, or you read about someone doing such a thing, it will upset you. It will drive you nuts. You will say, how come that mother even had a child? What happened? But we're the same people sitting in church every Sunday, in the whole system of churchianity, who believe that God will do something infinitely worse. He will burn people's whole bodies in this lake of fire, not for 30 seconds. See, you put the baby in there 30 seconds because you love the baby only 30 seconds worth of love. God will put him in there for eternity because he loves that person so immensely, so he can be screaming in agony for 30 billion years, and he's just getting started. Turn up that heat because he loves them even more. We hear that, and it probably doesn't even make you say, yeah, God wouldn't send people to hell. You just say, well, that's what the Bible says. Because you don't even care to try to find out when the Bible does say hell, what does it really mean? Is it really a place where lake of fire, because it mentions the lake of fire in the book of Revelation? Does that mean really a lake with fire? It has to be surrounded by land, because if it's literal, there has to be land. Is the land also fire? It doesn't say. I mean, I would like the land to be land so I can get on, you cool off for a bit. Maybe it has some, a nice cool osmosis spring so I can swim in there for a little bit and then I get flicked back into the lava. So many people just sitting there all day in church year after year and don't even care to look into that. Even when the Bible says hell and death were cast into the lake of fire. Stop and think. I'm sure you've read it. You probably just said, well, I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it has to do with hell. And that hell and death were cast into the lake of fire. Well, I thought hell was the lake of fire. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about us as humans being moral. If hell is real, we are more moral than God is. Because God tells us to forgive 70 times 70, right? Jesus Christ says that. Keep forgiving. Basically what that says is, hey, if someone does you wrong, turn the other cheek. If they steal from you, give them that. If they offend you, forgive them. But yet, when it comes to God, it seems like those rules that Jesus preached are out the window. If you don't believe in me, you go to hell. That's it. Man, come on. Don't give me at least 5 things. If you don't believe in me and you're an atheist and you've murdered and you've raped and you've tortured 1,000 kids, you go to hell. No, it's just, you don't believe in Jesus? Hell. Come on. Really, 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 I ask you to question this teaching of hell. Look online, look on YouTube. There's a lot of videos debunking and showing that hell is not a place where people go to get tortured. Jesus Christ conquered it. Jesus Christ, the last enemy, is going to be death. Don't ever forget that what Jesus Christ did is enough.